traction, and especially when we don't see the results. And that's the biggest test, right? You're doing everything you can, you're just not seeing the results. Right, Rika?
And it happens to all of us, because that means that you're on the right track. Because that's just what it means to live on a planet where we are dealing with the concept time. So it's not because something is in our head very clear and very focused and very much real that it already showed up in a 3D world. So then our faith and our trust and everything that we have is tested, because at that point, we get a lot of influence from the people around you, and they say, well, where is it? Show it to us. You see, it's not there. And that's when the doubt starts creeping into your head. And when you allow that to happen, you're done. It's not going to go well. So you have to be strong and see the end, even when nobody sees it, when you don't see it, when it looks as if it's not there.
That's tough.
Very.
And what do? You just have that patience to keep going. Keep
Okay, so this is where you have to tap into the belief and the knowing that this is true. And then I always go back to the law of gravity. Nobody doubts the law of gravity. If I have my pen and I hold it and I lose it, it's going to drop down. There's no other way. I know that this is going to happen. There's no doubt in my mind that if I hold my pen, it's going to drop down. So we need to understand that it is happening, and you need to have that trust and that knowing, and that's it. And once you have that, you will start seeing little signs. So then you have to start looking for the little things of proof that are coming in your way. And most of the time, that proof is you see everything around you crumbling down, because that is what is necessary to build something new. If you want to build a brand new house, everybody will tell you that the best way, if you want to have a good foundation, tear down the old one and build a brand new one. Don't go starting to patch and fix and what's there already, because it's not going to be that stable. So the whole world, it's going to look as if it's just crumbling down in front of your eyes. And in a way, that's a good sign.
And it happens when you least expect it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
It happens to make a change. And sometimes we make a change with our intuition and then everything crumbles down. And if we wouldn't have made that change, we probably be in a lot worse situation. So sometimes this happens in a way where our intuition leads us to, hey, we're going to make some changes. And then we see, thank goodness we made those changes, because it wouldn't have worked then. That's really understanding your intuition and seeing, got to make a change. And when it's the feels right, and you know it's right, and it felt good, and yet, and then all of these other things crumble down, you say to yourself, well, I'm glad I made that change.
Well, and even the making the change is already for people that are very much in tune with their intuition and with their gut feeling. Because first of all, when you start doing this, you're not going to be in touch with that easy. Because what is a good nudge, and what is a nudge of being desperate? Like, a lot of people start thinking about, how can I fix it? That's what the mind is going to do. The mind is going to tell you, you need to fix this. This is not good. You need to fix it. So how do you know that the nudge that you feel, the decision that you're going to make, that it is not coming from that unbelievable push from the mind that says you need to fix this? Because there is nothing to fix. You have to get out of the way, and you have to allow the universe to unfold and to bring you what you want. And that is going to be in very surprising ways. It's not going to come the way that you think it's going to come. If you know how it's going to come, then your dream is not big enough. So that's already a definition. Like, when everything is crumbling down, and you know that it is just the preparation for the big, big thing to come in, you need to sit back, stay happy, and just like allow it to happen. It is so hard, but it is. And once you start building that muscle, you're going to become better and better.
And it's really crazy is just writing down something you want, know you're already there, and be surprised how it happened.
Yeah. 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 And
Right?
usually the things that are the most difficult, the things that we desperately want, they come last. Why? Because we're attached to the outcome. The things that we're not attached to, they disappear easy. You have an idea, you're not attached to it, you let it go, and boom, there it is. And those are the things that you have to put your hopes on. And it's not hoping, because hoping is the wrong word. That you have to put your certainty on, because that is going to show you that it really works. If you can let go, sit back, allow it to unfold, that's how it's going to happen. And if you can do it with little things, you can do it with big things too.
Why would it think you think things look terrible in the root, and then literally in 15 and 12 hours they change, like 5 hours they change,
Yeah.
and you think the worst is going to happen, and it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Explain that. So our humanity is going to make us think the worst is happening, and then it changes, and you're saying, do we have not the faith and it was going to happen? So I've felt this, and it's happened where, oh my God, everything's going wrong, and then it turns around in seconds and say, why did I even think it wouldn't happen? And now I'm like, I know it's going to happen when it comes to certain things, but other things I still am not there. So there's
No,
just mhm.
no, because that is the whole thing, like our human nature. And this is the nature of the beast. You can train it. Our human nature is also to be lazy, but you can train to become like active. Like if it wasn't for desire, you wouldn't come out of bed in the morning. Everybody wants to turn around and sleep a little longer. We are innate lazy. Okay, so that's also the nature of the beast. But everybody says, come on, get out of bed, move, do something. Okay. The same thing happens for when bad stuff is showing up in front of our eyes, or what we consider bad. The mind immediately, the nature of the beast says, oh my God, something's wrong, you're gonna die, we need to fix this. So it's like a reflex. We are programmed that way. There's nothing else. Like our body is completely in sync with fight or flight. When danger is coming, that's what we do. We want to run, we want to hide, we want to do anything not to feel the pain. That's what our mind is going to do. So if you see everything crumbling, you want to run away. You don't want to deal with it. You want to
You want to hide your problems.
You want to hide it. You don't want to deal with it. The thing is, you sit back and you enjoy the journey. That's what they mean with enjoying the journey. It's not always that easy. It's easy to enjoy the journey if it's all rosy, but go and enjoy the journey when it's crumbling down, and then really sit there and say, okay, it's happening. And I don't say leaning back in the sense of being lazy and not doing anything. When I say there's nothing to do, I mean there is nothing to fix. You just keep the course. You just keep focused on what you want. You are just doing the things that you're supposed to do, but you're not going to start panicking and doing stuff that you're not supposed to do.
That's hard. It's
Yes.
because the panicking would be go and just give up and say, I'm done. I quit. That's one of the biggest fights and flights. Or I'm going to, so let's just say you're dealing with a problem that doesn't seem like it has a solution. That's a problem, right? Meaning you're not addressing it. Is that something that a lot of people are afraid to do?
Again, it is the nature of the process. Bob Proctor would say that he would take on also challenges, and he would like have big goals and big dreams. And every time his mind would tell him, Bob, you don't need this. You have money enough in the bank. You have people around you. Your family loves you. Why would you want to do this? And so every time he bumped into what he calls a terror barrier, you bump with your face flat against the wall, And then you can choose. Then you can, or go back to the hamster wheel and go back to your old self, or you can walk through it. You can just walk through it or around it or whatever, but you want to be on that other side. And every time you set a goal for yourself, you're going to hit that point. And so the more you do this, the more you're going to know that the process is the way it is, and you can't avoid it. If you want to be on the other side, you're going to have to climb that mountain. There's no other way.
So let's talk problems more. What do you deal with when you deal with problems that are involved in some of your goals? Do you confront them, or do you let it be and let it happen, or do you do the best thing possible that could feel painful, but you have to do it to be able to reach that goal?
I think the first thing we have to do is take the word problem out of our vocabulary. Because if we attach a label that says problem to something, our mind is not doing well with that. Problem, our mind says fix it. So now you're caught up in a whole rat race of fixing. So you already lost it. When you are going to think that something's a problem, you lost the game. But when you think that whatever is happening is just a challenge to overcome, then it becomes like almost like a game. You're challenged and you're playing the game and you're going to overcome the challenge. When you are running the hurdles, you need to go over those hurdles. You cannot just like go around and you're not going to win the race because you're going to be disqualified. So you need to go over those hurdles. So now this runner could say, there are like all these problems in front of me. They don't see it that way. They don't see it as problems. They see it as everything is a challenge. I need to get over every single one of them. And that's the first thing. You need to tweak it. You cannot talk about problems, because if you talk about the problem, words have power. A problem is not what we want to deal with. Our mind doesn't do well with that. So you call it a challenge and you look at it as a challenge, meaning it is something to overcome and you are able to do it. It is like, it has to give you energy instead of draining you.
Okay. Well, this is really good information to go through. Just because your goal hasn't happened yet, you have to keep going. You got to keep doing the things that will get you to that goal, and you don't give up when things seem to crumble around you.
Correct. That's it. That's the
And
message.
but it could be a short-term thing. It could be like you think things are crumbling around, and then, oh my gosh, this happens, this happens, this happens. Oh, okay, I'm all right now. And that's, or it could be a lot longer.
Knowing that this is a sign that you're almost there. Not thinking problem. Oh my God, I'm so close. This is it. Only a couple more challenges and I'm gonna be there. I can smell it already.
Right. I'm going to tell you, here's the thing. I was feeling like things were crumbling around. I ended up in the hospital. They were saying it was going to be a lot worse. I said, I'm going to be out of the hospital in 2 hours and I'm Wes.
Perfect. So again, it's just a challenge.
It is. It completely is. And
Yeah.
I said, let's not put the other scenarios. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to be out of the hospital. And that's how I try to say it. And when I do say it, when I believe it and I know it's going to happen, it will. If I start to get the worry, the fear, the anxiety, the fight or flight, the other result's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Because whatever you give energy grows. You want to give energy to the positive outcome, or you want to give energy to the doom story. It's up to you.
I'm going to take the other route. Okay. Best place to go is Rika Rivka Markel. That's where you can check out our YouTube channel. Appreciate it, Rika. Great stuff, and look forward to talking next week.
Thank you.